The latest on this is 13 people were shot today in this mayhem. 5 have been killed, another 8 injured. I don't know the status of their injuries or conditions. On the phone is John Kanaklides. He was in Terminal 2 when these shots first broke out, also hid under a kiosk before rushing onto the tarmac. John, how are you doing now?
I'm doing okay now, a little shaken still, but trying to recover.
I'm sure. If you don't mind or are able to, tell us what you saw, what went down.
Sure. I was sitting in the departures area when the incident took place and was just looking onto the tarmac, and we heard some pops behind us. Security personnel and passengers started rushing towards our area, screaming, take cover, get down. And I was about 15 feet from a flight attendant's kiosk and just ran there and took cover underneath it. And then about 30 seconds to a minute later, the door to the tarmac was opened and people were yelling at us to go onto the tarmac. And so we crawled as quickly as we could to the tarmac door and then evacuated out onto the tarmac.
John, did you see the gunman?
I did not see the gunman. I was in the departures area, and the shots were in the baggage claim.
And how quickly did it sink in that there was an active shooter on scene?
You know, at first it felt like I was living in a movie. You know, like, is this real? Is this happening? But once I was on the ground, I was not certain what was going on, and I pulled out my phone and texted my family to tell them that I loved them in case something happened to me.
Now, in the baggage area itself, that was outside security. So did anyone know, or how quickly did the word pass that there was at least a shooter there? Because there were reports later on that there might have been an additional incident that's since been dismissed. But what did you hear afterwards?
So it passed. The information that someone was down there shooting passed almost instantaneously because we could hear the shots from up here, and that's when people were telling us to take cover. And then after we were on the tarmac, we were brought back into the terminal, and about 15 to 20 minutes later, one of the security personnel started running. And at that point, a lot of the people in the terminal started running for the doors again because panic had sunken in. And that was when the alleged second incident was going on, and we didn't know what was going on.
John, where are you now?
I'm still in Terminal 2, uncertain of what's going to happen next.
Now, people are kind of stuck on site then, right? You can't get off site.
Correct. We can't leave either way. And I have a friend who's actually in a plane that landed in Fort Lauderdale on the tarmac still.
So he is not even able to get off that plane?
Yes. She can't get off the plane.
So, I'm sorry, she. Is that what authorities are saying, that no one leaves the scene and no one can come up and pick up anybody from the scene?
Correct. It's the airport is on lockdown.
Okay. How are you holding up?
I'm doing as best as could be expected, I think. There's kind of a spirit of camaraderie in here around the passengers, talking to people that we don't know, making sure others are okay. There were some children while we were on the tarmac that were without their families or separated from their families, and we ensured that they got with their families or contacted them to make sure they were safe.
You since might have heard, John, that there is an early ID on this gunman, a 26-year-old man by the name of Esteban Santiago, that he had a military ID and that he checked a gun on an Air Canada flight, and later when he retrieved his luggage in Fort Lauderdale, where you are, was able to arm it and then start shooting afterwards. What do you think about that?
I am a big proponent of stricter gun laws, so I'd like to see stricter regulations on that in general. We've had a lot of shootings around the U.S. and around the world, and so I'd like to see that somehow taken care of.
John, in the meantime, has anyone given you word when you might be able to leave there?
No, there's still no word.
Amazing. John, thank you very, very much.